Turning to politics now and the questions surrounding President Biden in 2024. According to Al Sharpton, Biden is all in. During a private conversation at the White House last month, Sharpton says the president told him, quote, "I'm going to do it again," and America cheered. The new report comes just as the president is getting renewed attention for his gaffes, like the one he made just yesterday while touring hurricane damage in Puerto Rico.
I come from the little state of Delaware. It's not like the congresswoman from New York. She's from the big state. But we have a very, in relative terms, large Puerto Rican population in Delaware, relative to our population. We have the 8th largest black population in the country, and between all minorities, we have 20% of our state is minority. And so I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home, politically.
What? Okay, well then, that was just the latest in a week full of bizarre moments and strange statements from the commander-in-chief.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President.
I probably went to shul more than many of you did. I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
I mean, where to begin, Jimmy?
Oh, boy.
He was essentially raised in the Puerto Rican community.
He's done it all.
When Delaware, 2,000 Puerto Ricans of the Puerto Rican community, when he ran for office, it's 0.39% of the population when he started 5 decades ago. So indeed he was.
He's a man of many firsts, because if you're keeping score at home, he got his start at a historically black college. He said that when he was running. Last week he said he went to shul more than most Jewish people he knows. He was raised Puerto Rican.
I mean, know that.
This man is a pioneer, okay? Wow. I don't doubt the point I'm trying to make that he told Al Sharpton he's running again in 2024. What they leave out is that he claimed he was going to beat President Truman. Okay? Joe Biden is a mess. It's a very hard thing to watch. He's the only president in history that takes more time to exit a speech than he does to give one, which is kind of crazy. Like, I hope the band's getting overtime for all the renditions of Hail to the Chief they have to play while they're fishing him out of the audience and bringing him back to the right path. I'm just saying it's hard to watch, and there's no serious person that thinks he's running in 2024. I know he said he's running, but as I said, no serious person
not a serious
thinks
person?
he's not running in 2024.
Okay.
He won't run a 5K.
Jimmy?
In 2024.
Jimmy, I think he's running. I think it'd be an admission of failure if he didn't run. But Harris, just a reminder that, okay, so September 2nd, he had that meeting with Al Sharpton. I'm going to run, he says. But September 18th, here's what he told the American public. So this was after he told Al Sharpton, I'm going to run. Maybe he's confused. Take a listen.
Look, my intention, as I said to begin with, is that I would run again. But it's just an intention. But is it a firm decision that I run again? That remains to be seen.
So we don't know really what happened in that meeting with Al Sharpton. It was a private meeting. Do I need to remind everybody the honesty box checking that Al Sharpton has failed to do over the years? Maybe talk with a couple of prosecutors about that one.
Yeah.
The remarks, though, according to Al Sharpton, happened in a private conversation at the White House last month, and then he immediately informed his National Action Network staff in Washington to let them know what the president had said. They also were at the tail end of a meeting with leaders of several of the country's most prominent civil rights organizations, representing a stronger assertion that he will be on the ballot again. So he was feeling all political, all in his feelings, I would imagine, if that even occurred. But let's just say, for safe's sake, that it did. Notice how he did it. He doesn't want to have to, capitulate to reform laws, right? The campaign political action laws. He can't do that. So he can't officially announce, but he also doesn't want to do that because he's just trying to figure out what people's reaction's going to be. It's not like Al Sharpton went outside and said, "Oh my gosh, he called his own network. He didn't go out and hold a press conference, which Al Sharptons want to do on most issues. This was quietly said because he is floating the flag out there to see if anybody would get excited about it. And the only people who are excited, I would imagine, are the people who are saying, like you do, it'll never happen.
Never.
It'll never happen. So you have the choice of believing Al Sharpton, or you have the choice of believing President Biden, who's known for some tall tales. Emily, let's watch the president.
And if we
I
don't
used to
do
drive an 18-wheeler, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I
yeah.
could.
That's
I
awesome.
got to. I've been impressed. I've been on a lot of university campuses. Matter of fact, for 4 years, I was a full professor at the University of Pennsylvania. They think I'm kidding, man. Seems like yesterday, the first time I got arrested. Anyway, I was appointed to the Academy in 1965 by a senator who I was running against in 1972. As my colleagues can tell you, when the Senate was in session, you get a kick out of this, Sherrod. I was, the Secret Service doesn't like me taking the train because it stops too many places. And a guy named Angelo Negri, a conductor, senior conductor, walked up and said, "Joey, baby," grabbed my cheek. I thought he was going to shoot him. You know, they go, "Joey." I said, "Ange." I said, "He's okay, he's a friend." True story. He said, "What's all this I read in the paper? You traveled over a..."
None of that's true.
It's not, and you know, that story about the conductor that is chronologically impossible, he's told over 8 times. Most recently, last month, to a group of union workers. And by the way, anyone that's over 100 like he is, when they say true story, that's the dead ringer that it's totally false. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of our commander-in-chief engaging in these lies and these appropriations. The fact that he told the Tree of Life Jewish synagogue in 2019 that he had gone there multiple times to and from. They said, we have no record of you being here. The site of the largest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. And then the White House played cleanup by saying, he must have meant a phone call that he made.
Ew.
And we're supposed to accept that from our president. He's supposed to be the best of us. I see him as the worst. And it is mortifying. On a good day, it's laughable, but on a bad day, it is totally unacceptable.
You do polling, Lily. I assume voters notice this.
Absolutely, and that's why we see that constant decline. But who is the successor when Vice President Harris has more unfavorable ratings that we have seen in any past vice president's history as well? So I think that's part of the concern. But you know, I'm a business gal. I'm looking at performance and accountability, and I get concerned, you know, when we evaluate CEO performances, you look at it based on you're capable, you're delivering results, and it's very hurtful because he is the pilot of all of our planes. He is our commander-in-chief, and that is concerning when there's, whether it is cognitive or he's trying to be funny but is not coming across as funny. It needs attention, and I know the Democrats are worried because there's not a successor. So here we go. We got to wait and see.
Yeah.
Where's our plane going?
That is part of the question.
Dude, hold on a second. If he's the pilot, I am parachuting out right now.
I just want to know where we're going to land.
Mark my words, I'm a serious person, Jimmy, contrary to what you may say. And Biden is running. I'm telling you. Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Compagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.